Hello and greetings to all you Star Wars fans out there on the internet. My name is Brian Borg. I am the president of Twin Suns Foundation and one of the founding board members of the organization, and I wanted to create a video here. I had hoped it would be brief, but it is looking like that's not going to be the case, just staring down my notes. So I do apologize for the length of time of this video in advance. But the first thing I wanted to do was introduce everyone to the Twin Suns Foundation. For those who are unaware, Twin Suns Foundation is a newer Star Wars fan organization that is also a non-profit organization that was created with the purpose of spreading literacy around the world using Star Wars as a medium. We came upon this idea as it is something that, in particularly for myself and for the other founding members of the organization, our love of reading and writing came about thanks to our exposure to the Star Wars Expanded Universe novels and comics. If it worked for us, and it worked for many other people out there, as we know, why wouldn't it work for even more people out there? So we're going to try to get our reach out to as many people as possible, and we can do so with your help as we grow over time. The other purpose of this video, though, and the main focus of this video, is our current ongoing fundraiser, the Winter 2017 fundraiser, which is a fundraiser that will be running through March 22nd. So the Winter 2017 fundraiser was started about a couple weeks ago. We did have some downtime that I'll briefly explain a little bit later on in the video, but the goal of this fundraiser is to raise $2,800 that will go towards funding a internet advertisement campaign that will be using special technology we were introduced to shortly after we completed successfully the billboard project last year in April. This technology basically allows us to target anywhere in the continental United States, specify a specific area in which our ads will be available to devices accessing the internet, obviously using keywords that we suggest, such as Star Wars, for example. And our intention with this internet advertisement campaign is to have it target specifically the Orange County Convention Center, where Star Wars Celebration Orlando is set to be held between April 13th and April 16th. Obviously, we would be running the campaign during those days only, as that's when our intended audience is in the area. So the ads specifically will be tailored to introduce Twin Suns Foundation and the Expanded Universe movement to the general fandom in a way that they probably haven't seen before, and it will supplement our actual presence because we are going to be there at Star Wars Celebration with a fan booth. Thank you to Lucasfilm for allowing us to join everyone there and share some of our love of Star Wars with the general population as well. We are excited about the opportunity, but know that if we have a internet advertisement campaign supplementing our efforts, our reach will be far greater than any reach that we could possibly have without it. So that is the main focus behind raising the $2,800. So far, in a little bit under 2 weeks, we've managed to raise about half of what we need already. We're sitting at $1,393 as of the time of this recording, meaning we only have $1,407 left to go, which is pretty darn good, given that we've only been up for 2 weeks calendar time, and actually it's been less than that. So I wanted to briefly break down real fast where that money is going exactly, try to answer as many questions as I can before they get asked. $2,500 of that is going to the internet advertisement company we're in contact with that will be putting together the eventual ads with our help, and we'll be using their technology to run these advertisements in that convention center, in and around that convention center, between April 13th and April 16th. $200 will be going to the help fund some of our materials that are going to be at the fan table. The majority of the materials are actually going to be funded by the board members ourselves out of pocket. We figure that's not something everybody else needs to worry about, but there are a couple things that we are going to need some help with, so that's why we're asking for a little bit of funding there. And then the remainder, about $100, we are estimating is going to be going to the fundraising platforms, Generosity as it used to be, and then when we transferred it over to our website only, PayPal, they charge, I think it's 30 cents plus 2.2% of every donation that comes in, so that's where that's coming from. So this internet advertisement campaign will help us advance Twin Suns Foundation's goals and the Expanding Universe Movement's goals by doing 4 different things. The first is obviously helping us spread our message of using Star Wars to spread literacy throughout the world. When we introduce them to our goals, we're sure that many others will warm up to the idea pretty quickly. As we've seen so far, that is the case in obviously the case when we've got almost half of our funding in under 2 weeks, which is pretty impressive. The second goal being that we wish to improve the general reputation of the Star Wars Expanded Universe movement without getting into the rather nitty-gritty minutia of why that needs to be done. The Expanded Universe movement as it is today has been largely misrepresented in the general Star Wars fandom, and we are looking to help correct that, as we are just passionate fans like most of the rest of the Star Wars fans out there, and we just in particular love the Star Wars Legends timeline, and there really isn't any reason not to. So the third goal being that we actually want to introduce the Star Wars Expanding Universe movement to a lot of the general fandom population out there who haven't heard of us, which I'm going to guess is also a sizable chunk of the community, given that our reach is still rather limited, even though we do have quite a wide fan base on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube as well. And of course the final goal being that there are plenty of new Star Wars fans out there we wish to introduce the Expanded Universe / Legends timeline to. Like I said earlier with our goal for the Foundation in general, if we love it, then so will others. So we feel that it is quite prudent to introduce more individuals to these stories and expand their love of the Star Wars franchise. So switching over to our perks, I did want to mention what we are offering perks-wise. As they were started on the Generosity campaign, we decided only to add to them from there and hold on to them when we transferred over to our website for the platform of our fundraising. The first perk being a $5 or more donation level. You will get a say on the books that would be donated to public institutions. We're thinking libraries, children's hospitals, that sort of thing. Any Star Wars Legends books that we decide to purchase, you would get a say on which titles they would be. Now, I have to point out that this perk is really only going to provide you anything if we are able to raise more than $2,800. As the $2,800 is currently already spoken for other things, but that also means that anything in addition to the $2,800 we raise is going to go straight to those books, with the exception of a small fraction of the funds raised at above the $2,800 level going to pay for actually raising those funds, i.e. the PayPal fee, which is, I believe, again, 30 cents. And 2.2%, I believe. So not that large of a chunk, so maybe 97% of every donation will go straight to those books, which is going to be great. I really do hope we reach that level, as that is our primary focus with our fundraisers. The second perk is going to be for $10 or more. You get to participate in a Ask Me Anything for the Twin Suns Foundation members. Obviously, only those who are brave enough to participate. I imagine myself being president, I have no choice in that one, and then likely my 2 other board members will be with me on that, but maybe some others too. We do have more people in the foundation. You can see a few of their names on the website. But there might be others who want to participate in that as well, so we'll see who's brave enough to participate. We don't know a time and date for that Ask Me Anything yet. However, I would personally like to see that happen at the convention, as that would be pretty awesome, at least partly. Have some of us at the convention floor doing that. Anyway, our next perk is at the $20 level. We are going to be giving out anybody who, giving out to anybody who donates $20 or more a high-resolution copy of our Twin Suns Foundation logo on the Planet art background, which is a image that was created specifically for us by one of our team members, Paul Adams. He is also the same individual who put together our Give Us Legends billboard last year. Very helpful in that, and without Paul's skills, we would be in a lot of trouble, as none of us really have quite the level of art skill that he does. So that will be nice to hand out high-resolution copies of that to people via PDF sent to you via email, so you'll be able to make copies of your own, put it wherever you would like to. The next perk is at the $50 or more level. We anticipate having a banner set up behind us at the booth, kind of set as our backdrop. That banner will be the planet image of our logo. We want to allow people who donate $50 or more to this campaign to have their names on that banner. It's a way to show that it is a lot of voices out there who wanted to have a say, at the convention themselves. A way of showing support for the movement, a way of showing our diversity, etc., etc. It represents the Expanded Universe movement well, and obviously will allow you to have a voice at our booth, which is something obviously we can't offer everybody tickets, but at least we can get your name out there. For the $50 or more, we feel that's definitely something we can do for you. The second to last perk level is at $100 or more. Our friend and host of the podcasts, Princes of the Universe, Matt Wilkins, has offered to allow people who donate $100 or more to guest host on his Princes of the Universe podcast at a later time. Matt did this for the Give Us Legends billboard campaign last year, and he really enjoyed having everybody on. And as one of the people who donated enough money who got to take part in that guest hosting, I gotta say it's a lot of fun to guest host one of these podcasts with Matt. So definitely an exciting perk to have for everybody who can manage to donate enough for that. Our final perk we kind of introduced after somebody actually dropped this much money on the fundraiser, but we felt they deserved something too, and we are only offering a limited amount of these, as it isn't something we can really share with a lot of people. But for $250 or more, we are going to allow you to pick a library of your choosing, where we will ship a large portion of the books that we end up purchasing with the funds raised above $2,800, also assuming that we do raise above $2,800, to that library in your name, or rather on your behalf. It's a way for you to influence an area of your choosing, improve the literacy of those patrons of, say, the library, or those patrons of the children's hospital, or wherever else you feel makes a lot of sense. Obviously, we'll have some say in that, but we really feel like this is a legitimate way to honor the contribution of $250 more. Obviously, at that point, you're giving a lot to this effort, and we feel that, in addition to the perks that are offered below that level, we add to give you something else too. So there are still currently 2 availabilities left for that perk level. And we definitely want to see if we can get more people involved at that perk level. If you manage to do so, great. If not, that's okay. You still have many other perks to choose from. So the only other thing I wanted to mention, it's not exactly a perk because it's something we worked hard for, but our nonprofit organization is tax exempt in the United States, meaning every dollar you donate to us is tax deductible for yourselves if you are a U.S. citizen. We decided to jump through a few extra hoops in order to give back to you guys for giving back to us, make it easier for everyone to participate going forward, and it seemed legitimate given our goal. We figured why not, and thankfully we have the status, and we hope that many of you take advantage of that. So with those perks kind of explained, I wanted to briefly go over for some of you who have been following this campaign so far since we launched it back in January, what happened with the generosity campaign. And basically we received a phone call from Lucasfilm. They were asking us to take down the fundraiser, specifically from crowdfunding websites. I guess they have some legal conflict that I didn't really dig into because I had no desire to really cause problems. I wanted to find a different solution rather than cause problems. So there's some legal conflict there that doesn't allow official fan groups associated with the Star Wars franchise, in particular Lucasfilm, and probably Disney as well, to participate on crowdfunding websites. It's probably a policy of theirs. And we didn't want to cause problems again, so we took that fundraiser off of generosity, and basically that served as the spurring point for us to actually go forward with our original plan, which was to raise the funds directly through our website anyway. So we took a few days of downtime on the fundraiser in order to get our website secure and capable of taking donations directly via PayPal integration. And thanks to Gordon Sullivan for helping out with that one. That was critical to have done. I know Gordon thinks I helped out a lot on that when I really don't think I did. I think this was mostly Gordon in this case. He was great in getting that done. I know we got next to no sleep, but it's done well, and it is secure. So we are able to take those donations, and we are able to keep this fundraiser going until March 22nd. And that's briefly why we had to transfer it over. It was originally the plan to have the fundraiser through our website anyway, so it all worked out in the end. So yeah. So for this final bit of the video, for those of you who stuck around, I do apologize, this went a little bit longer than I anticipated. But I did want to do something. It's starting to become a bit of a tradition with these fundraisers for myself, it seems. I did want to match up to the next $150 that gets donated to the fundraiser. I have to keep my limit relatively low on this in order to maintain our tax-exempt status, as I am an official member of the nonprofit organization. We are limited in how much we can donate to our own organization for obvious reasons. So in order to keep that under the limit that we have, I can only do the next $150, but I am more than happy to match the next $150, as that will help us get a lot closer to our overall goal. And as we sit right now, we only have $1,407 left to go. So if I'm matching the next 150, that means we'll only have $1,107 to go by the time I am done matching. And that is significantly closer to the end goal. So I'm hoping that some of you will take me up on my challenge there to match me up to the next 150. And I hope to see this project fund sooner rather than later, because that means we get to the pure money raised towards books at that point. Anyway, that's all we have on the fundraiser. I did want to say a little bit more on the celebration invitation, but I think I'm going to go ahead and save that for another video entirely, as we have several announcements revolving around that we are holding on to until we can share a little bit more. So look forward to seeing another video from us soon, hopefully, and in the meantime, I hope you all are having a good one. Thanks.